Hello and welcome to this chair yoga practice. I've designed this particular practice specifically to meet the needs of someone who has just had a hip replacement. But it would be appropriate also for anyone who has had a knee replacement or a knee injury or any other kind of condition where chair yoga would be appropriate for you. Also, perfectly healthy people can benefit from doing chair yoga. It's not just for when you're injured or recovering from a surgery. This could be a very nice practice to have in your toolkit for when you're sitting at your desk and you want some stretches you can do sitting at your desk. Or maybe when you're sitting in an airplane or in an airport traveling. So never think that there's any limits on who and where and when you can do any type of yoga. But I will be talking in particular about things to keep in mind if you have just had a hip replacement. It's a very difficult thing because if you're used to being active and you're wanting to get back into being active again, you just want to move in a way that feels good, right? And when you've just had the surgery, maybe you're not cleared yet for physical therapy and other more active types of movement. This practice is going to involve just moving from the waist up. So nothing that is going to affect anything you have going on with your hips or your legs. A couple words about our setup here. I'm in a kitchen chair on a wood floor, and if you're on carpet or something like that, you don't need to worry about this, but I put the chair on a yoga mat so that I would feel really secure. I don't feel like the chair could slip or slide, all right? And I also have a blanket under my bottom on the chair. Some things to keep in mind for most post-surgery hip issues. You want to keep this flexion of your hip at an angle that is greater than 90 degrees. So sitting upright is the most flexion you want in your hip. In fact, I have a little extra height under my seat so that my knees are lower than my hips, and that reduces this angle. So it's not so much flexion in the hips. And again, we're not going to move the legs at all. So no internal rotation or external rotation or crossing the legs or anything that puts the hip joint at any of its extreme ranges of motion, okay? So whatever setup you need to get that position where maybe your knees are just a little bit lower than your hips. And then I'm also short, so when I sit on a blanket to do that, I also have another blanket under my feet so that my feet will touch the floor and I feel grounded and secure. I could also put my feet on yoga blocks if I needed a little more height, or on books or something like that. Even a folded up towel, something firm and supportive under the feet. And then I also have a pillow behind my back. Again, I'm short, so if I were to sit all the way back in the chair, so I've got lots of room in the front of my hip, I'm not in a position where my feet will comfortably come to the floor even with the blanket under them. So finding a setup where you're comfortable is most important, where you've got some spaciousness in the front of the hips and you have the feedback of being able to lean back against something, whether it's the back of the chair or, in my case, a pillow against the back of the chair. So then if I stay in that position, I know that I'm not gonna lean forward and flex from the waist or the hips if I keep that feedback of my back against the back of the chair. You might be in a, on a chair that's like a living room chair or a sofa or something, this would be best in a chair without arms because we're going to be moving our arms and then we would have more room. But it's most important that you be in a chair that it feels comfortable and supportive to you. Okay, so that's number one rule. Find a position where you feel comfortable and supported. Obviously, as with any kind of activity, I would suggest watching the video through all the way once first if you're at all unsure about doing these types of movements. And then if there is anything you're unsure or uncomfortable about, you can just skip that part. And of course, you can always check with your physician or a medical professional about any type of movement activity that you are planning to do after you've had a surgery. All right? So with all of that said, we will get started. So the feet are touching the floor, hips width apart. I'm not turned in or turned out. I've got the knees a little lower than the hips, so there's some space in the front of the hips. I've got the feedback of my back leaning back against the chair. I'm just resting my hands. They can rest anywhere on your legs, on your lap, wherever is comfortable. And maybe closing your eyes. We're just going to stop and drop into the body. And notice. Notice your feet touching the floor or the supports. Notice the chair supporting the backs of your legs, the backs of your hips, your back. Feeling grounded and supported. And from that grounded, supported feeling, sitting upright in a comfortable posture that offers your body respect. Maybe lengthening a little bit through the crown of the head, lifting a little bit through the chest and sternum. We'll bring one hand to the belly and one hand to the chest, tuning into the movement of the breath. We'll take some full conscious breaths. As you inhale, feel the belly fill with the hand that's on the belly, then fill up through the mid-ribs, then all the way up to that hand that's on the chest, and then exhale from the chest, through the mid-ribs, through the belly. Again, inhale, filling the belly, the mid-ribs, all the way up to the top of the chest, and exhale from the chest, through the mid-ribs, all the way down through the belly. One more. Inhale, belly, mid-ribs, chest, and exhale, chest, mid-ribs, belly. Good. And now bring palms together at the heart. So you can still feel that rising and falling of the chest with the breath. Draw the chin back in space a little bit to lengthen the back of the neck. Your eyes could be closed or just cast down. And bringing some intention and gratitude toward yourself for taking this time to move and breathe in a mindful way that you can find some peace and relaxation. Any other intention you would like to set for your practice, feel free. And opening your eyes. On an inhale, we'll reach the arms up overhead If your elbows don't straighten when your palms are together, go ahead and take the palms apart. No problem. Just feel this nice full reach. Feel the fullness of the breath. Take one more inhale here, and on your exhale, turn the palms out and reach the hands out and down. And again, turn the palms up this time, and inhale as you reach up. Turn the palms down. Exhale as you reach down. Just moving mindfully with the breath. Turn the palms up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, turn the palms down. Reaching the hands down. Good. And take your hands onto your thighs. Let the chin draw in toward the throat and gently rock the head, little half circles from side to side. So this movement can be as large or as small as you would like it to be. And the next time your chin is facing down, draw the chin in toward the throat and roll the head back upright. All right, and keeping the hands on the thighs. You could even push just a little bit with the hands as you shrug the shoulders up and back and down, opening the chest and squeezing any tension out of the upper shoulders. Good. We're going to bring palms back together at the heart. On an inhale, open your arms wide and feel not moving from the waist down, but from the waist up. Feel the chest lift and expand. Maybe even turn the thumbs to face back and the palms up, and see if that increases the stretch through the shoulders, the front of the chest, the arms. And on an exhale, round just the upper back as you bring your hands together. And then turn so that the backs of the hands are touching each other. And you feel a nice broadness across the back of the shoulders. Breathing into that space behind the heart. And again, inhale, turn the palms up. Reach the thumbs back as you open. Exhale. Reach the backs of the hands together as you round and close. One more time. Inhale, reach the thumbs back and open. Exhale, reach the backs of the hands together and close. And inhale, reaching open. And on your exhale, bringing palms back together at the heart. Even just that little bit of mindful movement with breath. You feel some tingling in the arms and the fingers. All right, we're going to inhale and reach the arms back up again. Getting a nice reach here. And on your exhale, bending the elbows into like a cactus position as you slowly lower them. Feel the shoulder blades. Drop in and down, in and down, in and down. And inhale, reach up. Exhale, slowly lower. Chest stays lifted and open as the shoulder blades drop down. And one more. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, lowering. With mindfulness and control. Just noticing your body moving. Inhale, reaching up, and this time grasping one wrist with the hand and leaning out a little bit. So being gentle and mindful, you're not leaning so far that you're stretching down into that hip in any way that is uncomfortable. Just feeling a nice stretch and length through the side. It should feel good. If anything doesn't feel good, then stop, skip it, back off, try something else. Don't just keep going, okay? And coming back up, and we'll switch sides. Just a little reach. And make sure the head and neck stay in a neutral position. Only as far as is comfortable. You're completely in charge. And inhale, reaching up again. And exhale, palms together at the heart. Maybe notice again that little sense of anytime your arms are above your head and you bring them back down, there's a little tingling of aliveness in the fingers. All right. Inhale, we'll reach the arms up again. And this time on an exhale, we're going to twist. So taking my left hand outside the right knee, and that right hand could come just down to the edge of the chair as I rotate only from the waist up. And a little bit of pressure of the hand and the knee into each other to broaden that left shoulder blade away from the spine, and turning through the ribs, through the chest and shoulder, lastly turning the head, and only if it's comfortable and your style of chair allows, you could wrap that right arm around the back of the chair. I'm getting a nice lengthening through the side of the neck as I turn to look to the right, and then I'm going to keep the twist and turn just the head to face front and tuck the chin and just change the angle of that stretch in the neck. Good, and releasing that very gently, only moving as far as is comfortable for you, and we'll do that on the other side. We'll reach the arms up and into the twist. So I've got the right hand resisting against the outside of the left leg, broadening the right shoulder blade away from the spine. As I rotate, spiraling the spine through the ribs, the chest and shoulder, lastly turning the head to look over the shoulder. And then keeping the twist, turn just the head to face front and tuck the chin into the chest. And just change the angle of that stretch on the neck. Still breathing fully. And releasing that twist and settling back into your grounded, seated position. We're going to add a little bit of a wrist stretch into our arm reach. So with the hands at the sides, I'm taking my thumbs and fingers together so that I can flex the wrists. And from that position, I'm going to inhale and reach up. And then exhale, extend, out and down. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, out and down. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, out and down. And again, you're completely in charge of what that range of motion is for you that feels like a comfortable stretch for the hands and wrists and forearms. To add another shoulder stretch, I'm going to take the right arm across the body to the left. I'm going to hold that right forearm with my left hand and drop the right shoulder down. It wants to kind of hike up around the ear. So drop it down as you reach it across, feeling that broadness once again across the back of the shoulder. Noticing the chest lift with the breath, the head and neck relaxed. And releasing that side, reaching left arm across. I'll hold it with the right hand, guide it across as I drop the shoulder down, and reach and release into this side. There's a good chance if you've been, sitting a lot, laying around a lot, your neck and shoulders feel stiff and tight. Just giving your body a little love and attention to those places that can still move. And releasing that side. I'm going to reach the right arm up, bend the elbow with the palm facing down the back. I'm going to hold that elbow with my left hand, so that kind of holds that arm steady. And I'm looking for a stretch that I feel through the whole backside of the arm and armpit. Give the head a little wiggle. Make sure you're not pushing your head into a forward or sideways position or something. Good. Releasing that side. Now we'll do the other side. Left arm up, palm comes down the back, holding the left elbow with the right hand. And get just a little bit of reach and length. And one side may feel different than the other. If you've got, also have something going on with your shoulders, that's going to limit your range of motion, and just honoring that and enjoying moving with the breath wherever you are. All right, we'll release that side, settling back into our grounded seated position, lengthening up through the crown of the head. I'm going to tip one ear toward the shoulder, again lengthening through the side of the neck. If there's something going on with your neck and gravity and the weight of the head is a little too intense, you can help support some of the weight of the head with your fingers so that it's just the right amount that you can soften around. And if you would like a little bit more of a stretch, you can actively reach the fingers of that opposite hand out and down. Nice big breath here. And instead of re-engaging these neck muscles to draw the head up, I'm going to roll the chin all the way down to center and then roll the head back up. And second side, ear to shoulder, chest lifted. Just noticing on this side, maybe it needs a little support, maybe it needs a little extra reach. And it could be different on one side compared to the other. Easy breathing, relaxed face, turning up the corners of your mouth, even just a little. And releasing this one the same way. Let the chin roll down to center and draw the head back up. We're just going to circle the hands and wrists. Again, this is as large a range of motion as is comfortable for you. And reverse the direction. All right, and settling back into your grounded, supported, seated position, closing your eyes if you're comfortable. And in your mind's eye, if there is some stretch that you like to do that would feel good, if your back is tight or your legs are tight and you want to imagine, taking a forward fold or a hamstring stretch, you want to imagine, crossing your legs and getting a hip stretch without actually moving your legs at all. Put yourself in that position that meets the needs that your body is saying, oh, I wish I could move in that way right now. And imagine how that would feel. Letting those muscles lengthen and soften. The muscles in the back, the backs of the hips, the backs of the legs, all the way down the calves to the feet and ankles. And the muscles in the fronts of the legs, the fronts of the hips. Relaxing, softening now, even that amount of awareness, and just letting go. Let the face be soft, the breath easy. The neck supported right over the spine. No place to go, nothing to be. Just being present right here with the body and the breath. Giving yourself this little gift of mindful movement. And when you're ready to be finished, you can stay in this state of open awareness and presence as long as you would like. But when you're ready, drawing your palms together at the heart, once again noticing the rising and falling of the chest with the movement of the inhale and the exhale. Remembering that intention that you set to be grateful for all the types and ways that you can still move, even if you're in some way constrained either by the environment you're in or a physical limitation or injury or procedure. Enjoying all the ways that you can breathe and move mindfully. Thank you for joining me and for taking such good care of yourself. Namaste.